Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace.
On the gridiron or courtside, you know what time it is. It's
Sports plus life, sports plus life,
ringside or front court or field pass, we ballin' no. Knuckle up or buckle up, I tell it like it is when I'm on my show. Home run, slam dunk, knockout, or got some dough.
Sports plus life,
Yeah.
sports plus life,
Ah.
Yo, 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 yo! What's up? What's really good? It's your boy Brandon Brevon Towns, host of that show called Sports Plus Life. You heard me. Y'all already know what's going down today, bruh. So guess what? Guess what? Turn it off, turn it off, turn it all the way off now, boy. Oh man, how's everybody doing today? Please allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Brandon Brevon Towns, and this here is Sports Plus Life, that there podcast where we talk about all of the necessary topics in sports and all of the necessary topics in life. And yeah, hope you guys like the beginning of that. Like I said, during this, well, it's not technically December yet, but it is now technically Christmas season. It's a time for Christmas, dog. Okay. I hope everybody enjoyed their Thanksgiving week, their Thanksgiving weekend, and Thanksgiving individually, as far as you know, the actual day is concerned. You know, it's always a good Thanksgiving when the damn Cowboys lose. I mean, that's becoming a Thanksgiving tradition. But be that as it may, again, during the Christmas season, I will be singing a Christmas carol at the beginning of each show. Thought I sounded pretty good on that one, and only did it in one take. That's all it took, one take. And usually there's nobody more picky on myself than when it comes to singing than me. I am my own worst critic, because when I sing and when I am recording something, there is something that I demand, and damn it, that is perfection, especially when you're talking about Christmas songs, because low-key, if you didn't know, that is my all-time favorite music to sing. I don't give a damn what it is. It could be any type of R&B, whatever. My favorite music to sing is and has always been Christmas. Now, maybe that's a little nugget about me that you didn't know. You learn something new every day. But anyway, before I get into the sports topic, because it is a nice, crisp fall day in Richmond, Virginia, about like 49 degrees. It is Monday, November 29th, 2000 of the 2-1. I have to, of course, do my norm. This is my norm now, which is send love out to everybody, in particular, especially my black and gold fam. I'm going to send love out to everybody because I love everybody. But this is the normal shout out to my black and gold family. I love you guys. I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday. I saw my brother from another mother this past Saturday. My homeboy B. Jeezy, Brandon George. We went out to kick back Saturday night, and we was just chilling, reminiscing, having a good old time. Even went on Facebook Live talking about the old video games that we used to play. Man, it was so good to see BGZ, man. And hopefully we going to get back up around the Christmas time. And my cousin, Mr. Bramble Black Ass, will be down here, you know what I'm saying? So we can really cut up and act a fool. But we had a great time. It was so much fun. But again, the special shout outs go to the love bombs that is provided to you by my black and gold family. And also, before I move forward, I would like to say a happy heavenly birthday to our brother, our black and gold brother, Daniel Finney Frock. Frock, happy birthday from up there. Man, we know you chilling. You got the best seat in the house, that you live in the life right now. You live in the life in the afterlife, and we miss you, and we love you, and happy heavenly birthday, my friend and brother, Daniel Finney Frock. Love you, bro. And that's real. Love you, bro. And again, love all the rest of my black and gold fam. Love you all. Miss you all. And hopefully, it'd be cool if I could see all of you guys during this holiday season. Chantel, I saw you commented on the last video, and you said you love me too, and I love you back. And I will tell you, every time I mention your name, every time I see your face, girl, I love you so much. And I love Keita, and I love Gina, and I love Tanisha, and I love Sean, and I love Doug, and I love B. Jeezy, and David, and Adrian, and Crystal, and all of my HS, and all of my HS fam, and Heather, and Rob, and Tiffany, all of you guys. And when I say I love Tiffany, I love all of the above, because I know so many Tiffany's, Garland, Costello, Farrell. Love you all. Love all of you. Love all of you the same. Love all of you the same way. But yes, it is Christmas time, but you know what? It is sports time now. So without further ado, my beautiful people, let's get to it. Okay, and if there was anybody's name who I did not mention in my I love you rant, you know I love you dearly and with all of my heart. But I would have been 15, 20 minutes naming everybody if I thought about naming everybody. You know, Vernon, Janice, Carisha, Rashad. You guys know I love all of you. And then the list goes on and on. Those are just names that just popped into my head. Anyway, week 12 of the NFL. What did we learn off of this past week of football? Nothing in regards to the NFC. In the AFC, what we're learning is New England's back, bitches. I'm dead serious. The Patriots are back. I hope you guys enjoyed y'all year off from the Patriots, because Belichick is back, and he's back with a vengeance. I mean, I hate to keep patting myself on the back, but I said this about a good 2 months ago. I said, watch out for the Patriots. I said, something is telling me they're about to make a run. What is happening? Another team. Again, I don't want to pat myself on the back, and this may sound totally crazy, but if you look at the last month, about a month ago, I said, watch out for the Dolphins. The Dolphins, when I said that at the time, were 1-7, 2-7. They have not lost since. They're now 5-7. They're making a run. I also said, despite their loss yesterday, I said, watch out for the Indianapolis Colts. And they really should have beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers yesterday. I mean, that Shaq Barrett strip sack fumble when it was 24-14, as soon as that happened, I said, that's a game-changing play. And sure enough, I mean, but you know, when you dealing with the Bucs, the defending champions, when you step on their throat, you got to keep pressing. You cannot let up, because otherwise you'll see what happens. The Philadelphia Eagles, how the hell, you know, Tony was right when he picked the Giants. And I said this last week. I said the Giants always give the Eagles problems, but I rode with Philly. Jalen Reagor, you stupid fuck. I mean, now look, I'm not going to sit here and say that not going to sit here and say that that's the sole reason that the Eagles lost the game. No, it wasn't. I mean, Giants played an outstanding defensive game. But if you make that catch on the 1 yard line, even if you get up and you spike it with about 3 or 4 seconds left at the 1 yard line, I like your chances a whole lot better than you having the ball just go through your hands on 4th down. I'm like, damn. But as crazy as that sounds, the Eagles are now 5-7. Have you seen the NFC East? Have you seen the NFC East? Those last 3 wild card spots are just looking crazy right now. Like I said, we have when I say last 3, I mean last 2, because we still have our 5 teams in the NFC that are definitely going to the playoffs. But those last 2 wild card spots, they're up for grabs, bro. They're really up for grabs. Let's see. We got the 5 teams. We got Arizona, Green Bay, Tampa Bay, Dallas, and the Rams. Even though the Rams have lost 3 straight, the Rams are still in prime position. They're going to make the playoffs. But then you have 2 more spots. Who is it held by right now? The 6th spot is San Francisco. And remember, I was dogging Kyle Shanahan, and the 49ers have just risen from the ashes, and they're kicking ass and taking names. They beat the Vikings yesterday, who I believe have the next spot, the Vikings. But the Vikings are like a Jekyll and Hyde team. What, 5-6? It's a big old 5-6 cluster F between the Vikings, the Falcons. They beat the Jaguars. Take no stock into that. The Saints, they're teetering down. I think the Saints are waving the white flag. But at right now, the 5-6 teams looking at that very last spot again. Vikings, Falcons, Saints. The Eagles are 5-7, and I keep hearing, hey man, you better watch out for Washington. And I keep saying, no, you don't. You don't have to watch out for Washington. But if they win this game tonight against Seattle, yeah, you do. They are 5-6 as well. So the schedule that I looked at last week for the Philadelphia Eagles, that I was like, man, their schedule is easy. Not so much. You got to deal with Washington twice. Now you got the Jets next week. The Jets. But hey, you never know. But you have the Jets, you got to deal with Washington twice, then you got to deal with Dallas again. Okay. I mean, like I said, it seemed easy last week. Maybe not so much, but let me do a brief description of last week's games. I picked Detroit. Tony picked Chicago. I picked Detroit trying to be funny, even though I really did believe that they were going to beat the Bears, and they lost to the Bears in the most Detroit Lions way possible, the last play of the game. And the next game, I said, it is a great Thanksgiving anytime those bitch-ass Cowboys take an L, and that's what them bitch-ass Cowboys did, took an L. Ha-ha is right. And I don't want to hear the excuses about, well, you didn't have this person, you didn't have that person. Injuries are a part of the game. If you're a good team, you can erase those issues that you have. And I don't know what Vegas is right now, because every time you put some stock in them, they let you down. But then when you totally sleep on them, they kick you in the balls. And the night game was really, I didn't pay much attention to it, because Buffalo at New Orleans. New Orleans is a team that is about to wave the white flag. You know what? If I'm Jameis Winston, I'm sitting there saying, you know what? Damn, I'm kind of seeing the value of myself now, because ever since he got hurt, Trevor Siemian came in relief duty and won the game against Tampa Bay on Halloween, but they have not won a damn game since then. On to Sunday's game, and the smackdown, the beatdown, the bitch slap of the day goes to the Cincinnati Bengals over the Pittsburgh Steelers. My God, my goodness, I have never, ever seen a Mike Tomlin team get punked like that. Biatch. I mean, the Cincinnati Bengals beat the hell out of the Pittsburgh Steelers 41-10. Mind you, it was 31-3 at halftime. In the fourth quarter, when the game was about to be over, it was 41-3. Now, the Bengals, they've had their Jekyll and Hyde moments, too. They snuck up on everybody. They were 5-2 at one point, number 1 in the AFC. Then they go and lose to the Jets. Then they go at home and get thumped by Cleveland. So you're like, well, maybe we got too hype on the Bengals. They're still a young team. They come back last week off of a bye week. They beat Vegas in Vegas. That's why I said, well, really, what are the Raiders? But then in a division game where Pittsburgh has owned Cincinnati in particular, I mean, they just beat the stuffing out of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Joe Burrow had a great game. Joe Mixon had a career high 165 yards. Let me tell you something about the Cincinnati Bengals right quick. They're in a very advantageous situation. And I say that because this is a team clearly, like again, 10 years ago, they're ahead of schedule, but they have their young talent in place. They clearly have their quarterback of the future in Burrow. They clearly have that next number 1 elite wide receiver in Jamar Chase. You've already got Joe Mixon sewn up in a contract. That's why I say you're in such an advantageous situation, because you also have T. Higgins, you have Tyler Boyd, and when you look at Burrow, when you look at Chase, you look at Higgins, they're all still on their rookie deal. So what you can do is you can shore up your offensive line, and you can shore up your defense as well, which was just awesome yesterday. But you can have this team in a very good spot going forward for the next damn near decade. The Bengals are going to be very, very, very dangerous going forward. because they have found their piece. They have found their elite talent early in their career, and they don't have to overpay them yet. And they can wait at least for another 3 to 4 seasons before they have to really throw some type of money, and assuming you don't put one of those elite players on a franchise tag, which would buy you even more time, but of course cost you way more money. Next game, I mentioned the Buccaneers. They beat the Indianapolis Colts 38-31, which is a very entertaining game. Again, I told you earlier before I started doing my rundown of the scores, watch for the Dolphins. As I said, they've won their 4th straight, 33-10 over the Carolina Panthers. Boy, I'm going to tell you something. Cam looked horrible yesterday. Cam Newton was benched, going 5 of 21. Cam Newton looked terrible, and maybe I, like everybody else, jumped on the Cam Newton express train too early, and now you've lost Christian McCaffrey for the rest of the season. But yet and still, in this nutty NFC, they are still in it. They are. But the Dolphins, and the crazy thing is the Dolphins in this stacked AFC may not be in it anymore, but they've won 4 straight, and they could easily win their next 2 games as well and end up being 7-7 when it's time for the nitty and the gritty. The hottest team in the NFL, the New England Patriots. Like I said, the Patriots are back, baby. Hope you enjoyed that year off. 36-13 over a very beaten up Tennessee Titans team. Now, I'll give Tennessee a kind of a pass on this notion. You don't have Derrick Henry, you don't have A.J. Brown, you didn't have Julio Jones, you didn't have a chance in Foxborough. I'm not sure that you would have won the game had they played, because the Patriots are rolling that much. The Patriots retake control of the AFC East, even though the Buffalo Bills won it. Though, look, in the next couple weeks, like I said, shit's getting real, because the Patriots have to see the Bills twice, and they have to see the Colts. They're 8-4. They're rolling. They get through those tests with maybe just 1 loss. You may find the Patriots being the number 1 seed in the AFC. Look out. And I already mentioned the Eagles losing to the Giants. What a clunker by the Eagles. Game nobody cared about, unless you're a Falcons fan, because now you find yourself in that 5-6 clusterfuck, which is the NFC. They beat Jacksonville 21-14, but again, take no stock in that. The Falcons aren't good. Jacksonville is just worse. And another game nobody cared about, the Jets beat the Texans. So what? My Denver Broncos stayed in the mix, winning 28-13 over the Los Angeles Chargers. The Los Angeles Chargers, another team where you're like, who are you? Because you look great offensively against the Pittsburgh Steelers last Sunday night, but then you come in the Mile High and my defense sits you on your ass. Did you see Pat Surtain? 2 picks the second, going for a pick 6, sealing the Dizzy-ill in that game? I'm going to tell you something, though. In the middle of that game when Teddy Bridgewater got hurt and Drew Lock came in the game, we were winning. I said, kiss this game goodbye. Drew Lock is in the game. And I'm going to tell you, Drew Lock continuously shows you why he is not a starting quarterback. How the hell do you throw an interception when you're trying to throw a ball in the dirt? You're trying to intentionally throw an incomplete pass and you throw an interception. You suck. That's why when I saw Bridgewater come back in the game, I said, okay, our defense is playing great, playing lights out. We should be able to win this bitch. And we did. 28-13. We're still in the mix, even though schedule again is going to get even more real next week. NFC game of the day, if you will, as far as matchup goes, the Rams versus the Packers. The Green Bay Packers, let me tell you something, y'all. The Green Bay Packers may very well be the best team in football. There may very well be. And ever since the Rams became the Super Rams and got Von Miller and Odell Beckham, they haven't won a game. They are 7-4. Now, I'm not going to be like some of these extremists and blame Odell for all of the problems, because I think that's just stupid. But I will say this. Sean McVay has gone away from what has made him an elite coach, because Sean McVay had he was a run-oriented coach. Jet sweeps, power eye, a lot of those things when you had Todd Gurley, which is why I don't understand why you don't just go get back Todd Gurley, who is sitting at home right now. Money Time is sitting at home and knows that system. Don't understand why you don't bring him in. I mean, come on now. We can patch this up for at least a quarter of a season to try to get you to a Super Bowl. Because I'm going to tell you, like I said, when they made the Matthew Stafford trade, I wasn't overly impressed because I'm like, well, hey, Jared Goff got you to a Super Bowl. So Matthew Stafford has to win you a Super Bowl. And what the Rams losing does is pretty much ensure that they'll be the 5th seed in the NFC. Now, the Packers, on the other hand, Aaron Rodgers is a lying, arrogant, condescending little bitch. But, man, he can play the hell out of some quarterback. And Aaron Rodgers may well be the MVP right now. We keep on looking to see, well, who's the MVP? Who's the MVP? Every time we say, okay, that guy's the MVP, they have a bad game or a couple of bad games. You want to say, hey, Tom Brady's the MVP? Tom Brady didn't play well at all yesterday. Leonard Fournette had a hell of a game. 4 touchdowns. That's what carried the day. Okay, Leonard Fournette is what carried the day. It wasn't Brady. So Kyler Murray, yeah, but he's been injured. Matthew Stafford, he's struggling. Lamar Jackson, possibly, but boy, his stat line wasn't good yesterday, even in the victory. Bro, I'm gonna tell you right now. To me, the lead choice for MVP is the current reigning MVP. Aaron Rodgers is playing great. Outside of the first game of the season against New Orleans, what bad game had Aaron Rodgers had since then? I mean, let's be honest. Aaron Rodgers put on a show yesterday, and even with the toe, which I don't understand why he would have divulged that information. That to me was stupid. But hey, it ain't stupid when you can back it up. He even ran for a couple of touchdowns. The Packers are 8-3. Is it 8-3 or 9-3? One of those two. And the Minnesota Vikings, Jekyll and Hyde, lost to the suddenly surging San Francisco 49ers. Like I said, I've been on Kyle Shanahan's ass because I'm like, you have not gotten the results correct except for one season in 2019. Other than that, you've been losing. Well, the 49ers now are healthy. And the 49ers are reminding everybody, including me, that when they're healthy, they are not to be trifled with. And what I'm happy about is them not falling into public pressure and rushing Trey Lance in there. They are a better team right now with Jimmy Garoppolo as their quarterback. The issue with Jimmy Garoppolo, everybody knows, is can he stay healthy? And Deebo Samuels, I owe you an apology, Deebo Samuel, that I didn't say anything bad about you, but I said the most complete wide receiver is Robert Woods. Yeah, I think that might be Deebo Samuels based on his ability. Because now one thing Robert Woods does a lot of, he's a great blocker. He's great out of the backfield. Now I do think Robert Woods in general is a better route running wide receiver, but Deebo Samuel is a beast. He is an absolute beast. And George Kittle, when he is healthy, he's reminded everybody that he is a beast. And San Francisco, you want to run into them if they're healthy and they get into the playoffs? Because right now, they got that 6th seed. So right now, they would look like they would be playing Tampa. Oh, yeah. Let's see that. Wouldn't that be compelling? Garoppolo versus Brady? Oh, man. Yes, and in the night game, Baltimore beat the Cleveland Browns 16-10. Like I said, Lamar Jackson did not have a good stat line. 1 touchdown to 4 picks. Now, after he made that incredible touchdown play, I put on Facebook, tell me why Lamar Jackson isn't an MVP. I'll wait. And, of course, Tony, well, because he has 3 interceptions. Yeah, he finished with 4. So, but only really reason why I say that, I'm amazed with the Ravens. He has the most responsibility of any player in the league because they are so beaten up, and they've been beaten up since training camp. They have been a Band-Aid, duct tape, patchwork team who right now sits at number 1 in the AFC. I mean, how about that? And for Cleveland, was this Odell's fault too? I don't know. I'm just asking. And right now, I got one of my homies. He's no stranger to the show. I'm not talking about Tony. We'll hopefully get him on later. But my homeboy, Big C Calvin, the Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan. What it do, homie?
What's going on?
Ain't nothing much. Well, I mean, I know you watched football yesterday. What was your takeaway from week 12?
My team, I think I start with Tampa Bay. It seemed like we got a little lucky, man. You know, with the turnovers. Usually with the turnovers, with them turn the ball over late in the penalties. That's usually our bag of tricks. I don't know what happened with them. Lamar Jackson, he's fucking amazing.
You said Lamar Jackson?
Yeah, man. That dude's sweet, man.
And you know what's crazy is that I said this right before we got on the phone. His stat line was horrible, but this dude is just He's amazing still, even with a bad stat line. Because see, what Lamar Jackson does, see, Lamar, this is why I don't like to hear no excuse, particularly when it comes from Cowboy fans. And this is no shot at nobody, but when it comes to Cowboy fans and the excuses they make for Dak Prescott, or when I hear excuses made for Tom Brady or anything like that.
Most Cowboy fans don't know anything about football. That's why they like the Cowboys. They don't. They have no, they don't have no, what's the word? Awareness, no self-awareness. Like my team, like a year ago, a year and a half before last year, we were sorry. And after Tom Brady, we're going to be sorry again. And I accept that. You know what I'm saying? I know that. Giannis, they feel like it's every Super Bowl is theirs to lose. You know what I'm saying? They don't want, and I'm not talking about all of them, because some Cowboys fans have good sense. But most of them, no, they don't. They could be food line by 3 points, and they going to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But Lamar Jackson, he wins games despite the circumstance. And, you know, I can't say that about Dak Prescott or Josh Allen or there's a couple other, Baker Mayfield. I can't say that. Lamar Jackson wins. All dude does is win. He wins in no matter the circumstance. No, it doesn't matter if all of his receivers are hurt or if his running backs are hurt. This son of a bitch is gonna find a way to win the game.
Right. Well, right, and I think part of that is no fault to his own. He can't help that he was blessed with that gift, but you have to play him a certain way. So, you know what I'm saying? So you're not gonna get everybody. You know what I'm saying? He don't see the defenses that everybody else see. I mean, I take that back. I think he does. You may see it once or twice, then he takes off, and then you don't see that defense no more. You dig what I'm saying?
Well, you saw what Miami did against him the last time he played in the Thursday night game. Miami, the way they defended him, they consistently sent a corner blitz to him the whole game.
Yeah, right.
You know, they sent a corner blitz at him the whole game. He had never seen that before. Cleveland tried to do the same thing last night. That's when he burnt him for the touchdown.
Yeah,
but for the most part, yeah, exactly. But for the most part, Cleveland's defense was great. They got four turnovers. But like I said, despite no matter the circumstance, Lamar Jackson finds a way to win. If that's Aaron Rodgers on the other side, not Baker Mayfield, Baltimore would have been toast. No, I'm serious. Baltimore would have been toast. Matter of fact, if that was Mac Jones, if that was a Bill Belichick coach team, Baltimore would have been toast off of 4 turnovers.
Aaron Rodgers and his immunized toe.
Man, hey, I said this before we got on the line. I said Aaron Rodgers is a lying, cocky, condescending, arrogant son of a bitch, but he can play the hell out of some quarterback, bro.
Yeah, man. And it don't seem like it. And it don't seem like he. I mean, it don't seem like he's flushed or rushed or happy or sad. It's like he's just like, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's just so cool. I can't stand a motherfucker that goddamn cool all the time. Don't it make? I mean, you ever be like angry or upset about something, and the motherfucker beside you? Can I cuss on here?
Yeah, you cuss. You can say whatever the hell you want.
And the person and the other person gets cool and calm, like, don't that piss you off? That's how Aaron Rodgers is.
Yes.
And then he just picked the ball like 60 or 70 yards. I mean, he's sweet. He pissed me off, but he's sweet. But,
yeah, because honestly, when you look, you know, everybody has been trying to find out. They've been trying to name that because now we more than halfway through the season, so everybody's trying to say who's the MVP, who's the MVP. And when I look at it, when I look at everything in its totality. That nigga right there, he should. Yeah.
Yeah, he probably
Because I look at it. Look, every time you ready to anoint Tom Brady as MVP, he go out and have a bad game. Tom Brady didn't play well yesterday at all. That was Leonard Fournette's game. Tom Brady didn't play well at all.
He don't play well. He doesn't play well unless he has unless he has Antonio Brown.
He has everything. He has to have the perfect circumstance.
No. He has to have them too. I'm telling you, he has to. It's like he has to have them too. You know what I'm saying? Like if he don't have both of them, he don't know. It's like he don't know what the fuck going on. You know what I'm saying?
But then when you look at Matthew Stafford, they've lost 3 straight. When you look at Josh Allen, he's been inconsistent. You want to name him. For whatever reason, we can't fathom putting a running back anymore in the MVP category. Right. It was going to be Derrick Henry, but then he got hurt. You guys pretty much neutralized Jonathan Taylor for the most part. Lamar Jackson, he would be right there. He had a bad stat line, but the Ravens are a patchwork Band-Aid team who's number 1 in the AFC. But if you look at Aaron Rodgers outside of the New Orleans game, what bad game has he had?
Yeah, right, exactly. He's been consistent. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could always try to say, oh, yeah, okay. Well, that was just a week. You know what I'm saying? He might bounce. Josh Allen might bounce back. But Aaron Rodgers has been consistent. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be greedy. I'm not trying to be, you know what I'm saying? But I was trying to, when I was watching that game, I was trying to figure out who I wanted to win between the Rams and the Packers. And I was like, did I want the Packers to win or did I want the Rams to win? And I have to think about it. I'd take the Packers. You know what I'm saying? Because it seems like it's the same old two-step. You know what I'm saying? It's like he balls out in the fucking, you know what I'm saying? He balls out in the off-season and in the regular season, and then when he gets to the playoffs, he's kind of, you know?
Yep.
You know, so do I think that if we had to, you know what I'm saying, could we go to Green Bay?
You did it last year.
Right. And you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I felt like. Because then, as far as the Rams, Matthew Stafford, he's looking like, I ain't gonna say he's looking like Matthew Stafford because he never was really bad. It was just, well, was he? Because we always assumed that the team was.
No, but see, that's the shit.
Because I think maybe it's Sean, maybe after a while, you know what I'm saying? Cause like you can be innovative or whatever, but you know, as a mastermind. But after a while, you know what I'm saying? It seems like this stuff gets old. It dries up kind of quick.
But see, this is the shit that's getting on my nerves with the talking heads about Matthew Stafford. You know, they saying he's a great talent. We all know he's a great talent, but there's like, well, yeah, but he was in Detroit. So what? Okay, because he was in Detroit. It's not like he never ever went to the playoffs with Detroit. He went to the playoffs 3 times.
Did he?
Yes.
Yeah, and he lost there, but he never won a game.
But still, but you can't sit here and constantly say, well, it's because they were in Detroit. I mean, from 2011,
they got a lot to do with it though, because Detroit, they like what goes. I mean, I believe what goes around comes around.
Yeah,
Detroit.
but if you look at those Detroit teams, because you had a prime Megatron, I'm gonna particularly look at the 2014 team, which was the best team. They had a prime Megatron. Reggie Bush had the best season of his career. Their defensive line was the best in football with Nick Fairley and Ndamukong Suh. I'm not going to sit here and just let everybody say, well, it's because he was in Detroit. So fucking what? From 2011 to 2016, the Detroit Lions went to the playoffs 3 times. Them not losing a game, that kind of falls on you. Because the first time they played against the Saints, they put up 40 points. They still lost to the Saints. They should have beat the Cowboys. Now, they got robbed against the Cowboys. I'm not going to front. But still, you know, you were up by 3 scores in that game against the Cowboys, against Romo and them, and you lost. 2016, that was the year after Megatron retired, so that was more like a, okay, I'll show you year. And they went to the playoffs. They went to Seattle. They got thumped. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? No shame in that. But the notion of, well, you know, Stafford's great, but he was in Detroit, and
from listening to what you're saying, that he did good in spite of being in Detroit.
Hey, well, right? Look, you could say in spite of, but it's not like the team was never had no talent.
Right.
These motherfuckers this year, I can't even say they stink. This Detroit Lion team this year, they just have bad luck.
Well, that's what they look like without Matthew Stafford. You know
well, but see, when you lose 4 games at the very end, that wasn't because of the offense. It wasn't because of Jared Goff. It wasn't Jared Goff's fault that Justin Tucker made a 66-yard field goal that bounced off the fucking upright. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's a lot of ifs in there. They're like, if he was there, he could have scored more points. He wouldn't have had to come down to a field goal.
Yeah, but I watched Matthew Stafford for years lose the same exact way that Jared Goff is losing now. The same exact way. I mean, it just sucks for Jared Goff because he's never won a game without Sean McVay being his head coach. Never won a game under Jeff Fisher, and he's now not winning the game under Dan Campbell. But I think Matthew Stafford has gotten too much of a pass from being in Detroit. It's not like they was in Detroit and he was the only talent they have had. They sent a Hall of Famer who used to play. A player that used to play with him just got in the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like he never had no talent there ever. And that's what people make it look like. Well, it's the Lions, so they make it look like every year Matthew Stafford threw for 5,000 yards and the Lions went 2-14 every year. No, he took them to the fucking playoffs.
Well, the quarterback is not a good quarterback play is not the answer. It's not the cure-all. It definitely helps. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It definitely helps. So my stance is that I think you know what I'm saying. I think because they beat us, I'm happy that he's looking kind of crazy right now. But you know what I'm saying. I think Matthew Stafford was little. You know what I'm saying. Yeah, he had. I think he's a lot better than you give him credit for.
I know he's a very good quarterback. I do. What I think is it's not my question of his talent, but I'm just sick and tired of people using Detroit as a crutch as to why he never had no playoff success. I mean, Dak Prescott has only won one playoff game, and he's been to the playoffs 3 times. Twice. I'm sorry. Was it twice? No, he's been to the playoffs twice. But, I mean, what are you going to sit there and say, well, he's only won one playoff game, but it's Dallas. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't, like, I'm not, it gets on my nerves the way they try to use the fact that he was in Detroit as a crutch. If you're a great quarterback, like I said about Lamar Jackson, you win no matter the circumstances.
Yeah.
You win no matter the circumstances. We know Detroit is a dysfunctional organization. Yeah, we know that. But how many great quarterbacks in history have been in a dysfunctional organization and has made magic with? Hell, people would call Green Bay a dysfunctional organization. I don't think people are going to call them that now.
Yeah. I don't want to say I necessarily totally disagree with him, but all right, just hear me out. Okay, same Lamar Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Let's say for whatever reason, their top 2 quarterbacks get hurt. You know what I'm saying? So he can score every time. But if you can't stop the other people from scoring, then it's all for naught. You dig what I'm saying?
I get that. But if
you know what I'm saying? Because when your quarterbacks go down, oh man, it's rough. You have to. It can't be. You have to. If your cornerbacks go down, you can't stop them people. You know what I'm saying? Because they can throw all over you. You know what I'm saying? You put people in that don't know what they're doing, and they ain't got the right. They don't know how to communicate. They don't know the calls. I mean,
well, my basic thing with Matthew Stafford is this. I never got overly excited about the trade for Jared Goff because Jared Goff took them to the Super Bowl.
Right.
So I'm like, okay.
You dance with who brought you.
Right. And my thing is with Matthew Stafford is, okay, you're going to trade a Super Bowl. You're going to trade a quarterback that took you to the Super Bowl. That means this bitch better win the Super Bowl.
He's a scapegoat, and you put him in Detroit, and yes, back to the word Detroit. He's a scapegoat, and you buried him in Detroit, so he could never ever show that it won't him. You know what I'm saying? Because
that's a great point. That's a great point.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you supposed to be this offensive guru with what? Three of the last top 5 defensive pass rushers in the league. You know what I'm saying? And you got the top quarterback, right? You know what I'm saying? It was Jerv. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. They got a lot of problems in them. It's not just what is. It's not what it's all. What I'm saying is not just what is laid out to be. You know
well,
what
I'm gonna say this for the moves that the Rams have made, not just Stafford, but now bringing in Von Miller, bringing in Odell Beckham. What they should have no excuse.
You like the 2018 Pro Bowl on your team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? But and I thought about this slightly because you said I thought about this and I thought about it in your voice. In your voice. Green Bay just got LA numbers. Because didn't they beat them last year?
In the playoffs, yep.
And won't Aaron Donald right now? He was crying, won't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they just got their number. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
but they did lose 3 straight. You know what I'm saying?
Well, what this says to me is that the Rams are securing that 5th spot. And it's going to be pretty much how I thought it was going to be around the 4th or 5th week of the season. You're going to have Dallas and the Rams playing in the first round, and the Rams are going to kick the shit out the Cowboys. Now what? Now what happens with the Rams after that? I don't know. But that's pretty much the way they're shaping out because there are 2 teams in the NFC that's a bad matchup for the Rams. It's the Packers and the Cardinals. You know what I mean? Because the Cardinals are going to beat them again when they play them, and that's going to seal up the division. But what the Rams are doing right now, they'll get it back together. You know, they may finish 12-5, but like I said, they'll be 5th. They'll go into Dallas. They'll thump the Cowboys, and then we'll see what happens after that. Because if they happen to go into Arizona after that, it might be good night, Irene. Because I'm serious. That's just a bad matchup for them. The Cardinals are a bad matchup for them. And after next season, Von Miller will be gone. He'll be back. He'll come back to Denver. Or
you think he'll come back to Denver?
Oh, absolutely. He's coming back to Denver. Even if it's not next season, he's going to finish his career in Denver. I guarantee you that. And Odell Beckham is probably going to go to Green Bay. Who knows?
Well, he might.
But then they might sign him to another 1-year deal because Robert Woods probably won't be ready by the beginning of the season. But anyway, in terms of as far as the AFC goes, Baltimore's number 1, but New England is back, baby.
Yeah, they are. They've been waiting on this.
Yeah.
They've been waiting on this because after Baltimore and New England right now,
Kansas City.
Who's out there? Yeah, that's like a sleeping giant. I don't know if they wake up, oh boy, but shit, you know what I'm saying? Again, that's another thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's another thing. And I was gonna say this. I was gonna say this too. Like when I was talking about sometimes some certain styles get old. You know, this has happened to Andy Reid before. You know.
Yeah.
This has happened to Andy Reid before. This ain't the first time this happened to him in Kansas City. You know what I'm saying? When they had Alex Smith, they want nothing like this. You know what I'm saying? They didn't never have the potential like this, but eventually people figure out how to slow you down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but if their defense has indeed turned the corner because they've totally changed their defensive scheme during the season. If their defense has turned the corner, then to me, what you're going to end up seeing is a Patriots-Chiefs AFC Championship game.
You said what now?
I said if Kansas City's defense has indeed turned the corner, I said what you're going to end up seeing is a Patriots-Chiefs AFC Championship game.
Right. Well, I got news for you. The defense ain't never been that good. Okay? It is never. You know what they do? You know what Kansas City do? They do it for the last 2 years. They score 50 points on you, and then you have to pass the ball, and so they hold the whole time, and they're not gonna call every time. And the ones they do call, that little 30-yard penalty is not gonna hurt. You know what I'm saying? Their defense always been suspect.
Yep.
It has. it has. That's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm saying when those schemes, those offensive geniuses, those offensive whatever, when I say they go stale, most of the time those teams don't have a running game.
No, they don't.
They don't have a running game. Like if they when I like you have to plan for the running game and they're successful at it. Like they can run it and say we're gonna run the ball 30 times and get 130. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like you know what I'm saying? McVay when he looked so smart and so smooth when he had Gurley and they was moving the ball running it right.
Yeah, well he's lost his identity. Because I said that earlier in the show, he was a very creative run-first coach.
Right.
But look, bro, we gonna chop it up again. I got another call I got to get to have on the show. But I'm gonna but we gonna get up and I'm gonna have you on a little bit longer. All right.
Oh, all right, man.
All right, my G.
All right.
Hey, how was your Thanksgiving?
It was good, man. Yours?
It was good, man. I didn't do shit. I sat at home and I ate.
Good, man. Yeah, Roman getting tall, man. He need a job.
Yeah, he need a job. Go ahead, tell him. Go ahead, put him on where you at.
Yeah, I can't. Hey, he's tall enough.
All right, bro.
All right, man.
Yes, sir. Oh, my man Calvin, man, because Calvin gives me X's and O's, but he also makes me laugh. He makes me laugh a lot. All right, and now we've got Tony on the line. Tony's fired up. He is fired up. What up, bro?
Yo, what's going on?
Hey, oh no, don't get mild-mannered now. Keep that same energy that you just had.
I'm still hot. I'm very hot. I mean, you know, it's enough that sometimes we do things to beat ourselves. Sometimes coaching, 59-yard field goal with Greg Zuerlein, and missing extra points, but you want to kick a 59-yard field goal with the dude. But beating ourselves, you know, the refs. I mean, Ed Hockley and them, they got a track record. This is undeniable. Anybody can Google it, look it up. They got a track record. Ed Hockley loved to be on TV, and they made sure on the biggest stage that was what was the viewership of that game? They made sure they had plenty of FaceTime.
Well, I mean, you know, the viewership for the Cowboy game any year is always going to be the most watched during Thanksgiving because, you know, during the Detroit game, people are still cooking. The game might be on, but you're not really paying attention to it. And then once the Cowboy game comes on, people are actually sitting down to eat. So after you eat, you're going to want to relax. And then that's the game that's on. And that's really the game that I pay attention to because I didn't pay much attention to the late night game, Buffalo and New Orleans, because New Orleans is nosediving now. It was no needed. That game went exactly how I thought it would go. Just like the Detroit-Chicago game went exactly how I thought it would go, even though I picked the Lions. That went exactly how I thought it would go. But, I mean, you know, it was a lot of penalties. It was a flag-happy game. Now, what I will say about the 59-yard field goal, I would agree with you except for one thing. Dude hit the crossbar, but it was halfway up the crossbar. It looked like dude would have made it from 70.
Yeah, but field position is a strategic maneuver that the best coaches actually utilize. Instead of taking the 59-yard field goal, it wasn't crucial. It wasn't a crucial point in the game when you absolutely had to have that 59-yard field goal. So just play the field position game.
Well, the Raiders dodged a bullet too because at the end when they kicked the field goal, I think it was when you guys tied the game when it was after it was 30-all, and the Raiders, I don't know what clock management was not. The Raiders did a horrible job. Like honestly, when they kicked the field goal to make it 33-30, I said, "Oh, they're gonna lose." I said, Dak about to take them down and score a touchdown because they time managed so horribly before the 2-minute warning. Because they could have easily, 2nd and 2, ran for a first down and then held the ball, and y'all should have never seen the ball again. Now, what I will say is this. Y'all actually have an established head coach. The Raiders don't. So that's why they get a pass on that one. But that's why I said they dodged the bullet.
No pass on that one. I told you McCarthy was going to end up doing the same.
No. I was talking about the Raiders. I said that's why the Raiders coaching gets a pass on it because Dallas has an established head coach. The Raiders do not. Because if any competent head coaching, Dallas would have never saw the ball again.
You want to know something funny? This is the irony to things. So you remember that Minnesota game?
Mm-hmm.
Cowboys, Minnesota. And we were talking about penalties. We were talking about certain penalties that were called roughing the passer. We were talking
they were horrible penalties.
Late hit out of bounds, right? Leighton Vander Esch, they called late hit or whatever out of bounds. He just bumped into the guy or out of bounds. So Tony Pollard get hit. He's standing 2 feet in the white, but the same officiating crew, you're not going to call late hit out of bounds on that, huh? It's just interesting to me. But
you know,
it is what it is. I think that in these type of things, and all I'll say is gambling is a part of sports now. It is what it is. It's a part of sports. And sometimes it becomes a little bit more obvious.
Well, what I will say is this. Like I said before we got on wax, I don't disagree with you. And in particular with, like I said, I thought the Waller play, I thought that was a fumble. I didn't think it was no incomplete pass. And you know what? When I saw that play, you know what I thought about? I thought about, and this may be random. I thought about the 94 NFC Championship game, Cowboys and 49ers. When Michael Irvin caught the ball did the same exact move that Darren Waller did. Eric Davis slapped the ball out, and they called it a fumble. My, how the NFL has changed. That's all I'm going to say. But I don't,
in my estimation, catch, secure, 2 steps. That's what I thought a football move was. He caught the ball, he tucked it away, he took 2 steps. What more did he have to do?
Well, yeah, like I said, I don't disagree. I thought it was a fumble, but this is what I will say in the grand scheme of things. You got to realize who you playing. This was a Raiders team who was, for all intents and purposes, was spiraling out of control. You got to handle your business, whether you got CD or Amari or whatever. This is what I was talking about Calvin with when I was talking about Lamar Jackson. Dude had a horrible stat line last night, but he wins despite the situation, whether he has a horrible stat line or not. No matter what the situation is, dude finds a way to win. If you're Dallas,
but Lamar didn't win that game by himself.
No, I understand that. But if you're Dallas, but if you're
have somebody, so you can't say without no CD, no. Michael Parsons made plays.
Yes, he did.
Michael Parsons made plays. A couple of other people made timely plays, but
you can't fall down
Anthony
2 scores.
Brown has never been penalized that the entire season. He plays the same way every game and never been penalized like that.
I get it. I get it, but you can't fall down multiple scores and give a team like that, who is still very talented, but for whatever reason they've lost their mojo. They seem like they lost their mojo with the Henry Ruggs situation rather than the John Gruden situation. But you can't give a team like that confidence. You just if you're Dallas, you just got to come out there and step on their throat. I mean, you do. I mean, it was a very flag-laden game, but you know what? You guys ain't in no type of danger of losing the division. That's the first thing I said after the game. I said, well, they ain't gonna lose the division. I said Dallas is gonna end up where I thought they would end up, and they're gonna be the number 4 seed. But I mean, and the Giants made sure that you're not gonna lose the division yesterday by what they did with Philadelphia. You were right on that one. You were absolutely right on that one. But outside of the Thanksgiving Day games, what was your takeaway from the Sunday games?
We're back to that any given Sunday dynamic. Because
that's been every week this year.
that I thought, but I don't really have a takeaway. This is that time of the year where people are playing, or the bad teams, people are playing for jobs. And or contracts, bigger contracts right now, even on the bad teams. And some of the good teams you still don't quite know. For instance, Green Bay and the Rams, was that Lambeau Field effect, or was that the Packers? I have a tendency to believe that Cole was messing with the Rams a little bit.
Only thing about that is that, one, I would have bought that if Jared Goff was still the quarterback. Where did Matthew Stafford play at his entire career until this year? He played in Detroit.
Well,
where did Odell Beckham just come from? He came from Cleveland. And then they say in any type of weather, defense is supposed to travel. But
you said Matthew Stafford, where did he play? He played in a climate-controlled dome.
Yes, but he still had to go to Lambeau Field, and he still had to go to Soldier Field in December.
This is true.
So it's nothing that's out of the ordinary for him. I understand that Detroit has a dome and Minnesota has a dome. The other 2 teams in that division do not, and he's seen them plenty of times in November and December, to where he's played in bitter cold games. I'm just of the mindset that the Packers are just a bad matchup for the Rams. The Packers are a bad matchup for the Rams. Didn't know Aaron Jones was going to play. That helped, but A.J. Dillon was really the star of the backfield. But I'm going to be honest with you.
Do you believe all of a sudden Aaron Donald is going Aaron Donald? But do you believe that now on paper, defensively versus actually going out there and play, because you think that pass rush would get to Aaron Rodgers?
I would say this. The reason why I think the Packers have the Rams number is because they keep seeing him in Green Bay. So I guess that is a part of a Lambeau Field control. But the Packers, look, Aaron Rodgers might be the MVP again. because we keep on looking to see, well, who's the MVP? Who's the MVP? Every time we think we have an idea, a quarterback either gets hurt because now we're allergic to giving somebody outside of the quarterback position an MVP. A quarterback either gets hurt or they had bad games. Tom Brady didn't play good yesterday, even though they won. That was Leonard Fournette. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Tom Brady didn't play good at all. Kyler Murray has been hurt. Josh Allen has been Jekyll and Hyde. He's been inconsistent. Lamar Jackson is close, but he had a horrible stat line last night. But yet and still, his patchwork Band-Aid duct tape team is number one in the AFC. Do you put Mac Jones in that conversation now? Because the Patriots are rolling. Do you put Patrick Mahomes back into that situation now that Kansas City for right now has supposedly gotten it together?
It's 6 games left. There's a lot to be. I mean, this MVP is for the season, so there's 6 games left. Any one of them guys could potentially come out. I tell you what, one takeaway from Sunday is your boy in San Francisco is going to probably end up keeping his job because I believe the 49ers are going to make the playoffs.
I do too. Hey, I said this earlier. I said ain't nobody been harder on Kyle Shanahan than me because this is a results-oriented business. And all of a sudden, the 49ers have gotten healthy. And when they're healthy, they are proving again that they are not to be trifled with. They are rolling. They are rolling. And right now, if the playoffs started today, and I hope this stays exactly the fucking same, you would have San Francisco going against Tampa Bay. Why is that compelling?
Well, for a whole lot of reasons, you have it'll be a running game extraordinaire, but the
you're missing it.
Defense is
you're missing
excellent
it
against the run.
You're missing it. You're missing it.
I'm missing why San Francisco and Tampa Bay would be compelling?
Yes. Brady versus Garoppolo. That would be the headline going into the entire week if that were a playoff game.
Haven't they played against each other, though?
No.
He's never played against
No.
Not
Never.
Once. Wow. You think they'd have played at least once?
No. Because you know one thing, Garoppolo stay hurt all the damn time. But except for the year they went to the Super Bowl. Brady versus Garoppolo.
The 49ers have played the Patriots, but Garoppolo was hurt.
The 49ers played the Patriots last year, and you know they only play each other once every 4 years.
Right.
So they played each other in 2020, and before then it was 2016. I think Garoppolo might have still been on the Patriots.
I mean,
matter of fact, he was still on the Patriots. That was the year Tom Brady had got suspended.
That's something for the media to seize on too, sort of like the Belichick.
That's what I'm saying.
Earlier.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's the way it's looking right now because the 49ers, like, they're healthy. They're healthy and, like you said, look like Kyle Shanahan going, look, if the 49ers make the playoffs, Kyle Shanahan bought himself another 3 years. And I'm glad that they haven't buckled under the pressure and just thrown Trey Lance in there because he ain't ready. They're a better team with Garoppolo as the quarterback.
Yeah, as long as they can run the ball and Jimmy G doesn't have to be, the
play action,
guy.
Play action, man. They loving that play action. Ayuk is finally starting to step up. George Kittle and Deebo Samuel, when they're healthy, they are beasts. They are absolute beasts. But as far as, so what's your takeaway from the AFC?
Honestly, I don't really have one. I'll say this: in years past, these bottom-dwelling teams they would do obvious tank jobs to try to secure that number 1 pick. But I get the sense the Jets, the Jags, the Texans, we gonna win. And now because of that, those guys can play spoiler for playoff spots.
Well, not only that, there's not this life-changing quarterback that's supposed to be coming into the draft that would make you want to tank like in previous seasons. The projected Heisman winner, Spencer Rattler, and this is now part of the Lincoln Riley going to USC effect, has now entered the transfer protocol. The only other quarterback that I can think of off the top of my head that may make you raise your eyebrow is CJ Stroud out of Ohio State. Remember I told you to watch him. but they just lost to Michigan. You know, they just lost to Michigan and their chance of winning a national title. So when you don't have that life-changing quarterback, who knows who's going number one this year? So these teams, like you said, they're playing for jobs.
Yeah.
They're playing for jobs. But my takeaway from the AFC is New England's back.
Well, that was the takeaway last week.
Exactly. Hey, it's gonna be my takeaway this week. New England's back. I think what it's setting up for is a Patriots-Chiefs AFC Championship game. Because I don't know, because I don't know if Lamar, it depends, and I say that because it depends on, even if the Ravens get the number one seed, it depends on who they're matched up against. I think the Ravens could beat the Chiefs. I do believe that, even as presently constructed. I don't think they could beat the Patriots. I don't see Baltimore beating the Patriots. And in Baltimore, you would have a better chance, but you better fight to get that number one. And I will say this, I'll say this again, and hopefully they won't let everybody down like the first time when we felt this way. Beware the Bengals.
Yeah. I think.
You ever seen a Mike Tomlin team beat like that?
Nah, can't say that I have. I'm gonna say 1 through 5 is pretty solid and could potentially beat each other depending. It's just that 6-7. Don't know.
That's how I feel about the NFC. But with the 1 through 5 in the AFC, who is it gonna be? Think about Kansas City, right? Nobody in that division, which is our division. Did you see my Broncos yesterday? Did you see my Broncos? I was right about that. Did you see my Broncos? Patrick Surtain. You see Patrick Surtain?
I heard him. I ain't see him. I heard him.
Yeah, I hear the boy had 2 picks, Aaron. Had a pick in the end zone and then took his second pick to the other end zone. You see Patrick Surtain. But what I'm saying is, in that division, everybody has a winning record in the AFC West. Nobody's even 500. Everybody has a winning record. The Raiders are in last place at 6-5. So we play the Chiefs coming up Sunday night. Not thrilled about that, but think about if we upset the Chiefs. 1 through 5, where? What? Because think about it. I mean, it's hard with the AFC because Buffalo has to play New England twice. Baltimore has to play Cincinnati again, and they play Pittsburgh twice. I don't give a damn how feeble Pittsburgh looks. I'm going to go out on my morals and say a Mike Tomlin team ain't going to look that bad the rest of the season. Tennessee is beat to shit. They're lucky that the Colts lost yesterday. Otherwise, that gets very interesting. So I don't know. You talk about 1 through 5. I don't know 1 through 7. In the AFC, it's pretty cut, dry, and simple. In the NFC, 1 through 5.
Colts gave that one away yesterday.
Oh, didn't they? Didn't they?
That's at least 3 games that they had.
And here's the crazy part about it. Carson Wentz outplayed Brady yesterday. By far.
Yeah.
By far. But that strip sack, that Shaq Barrett strip sack was the game changer.
Yep.
Because after that, Tampa scored every other time they got the ball.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the AFC, to me, the AFC is way harder than the NFC. To me, the NFC is cut, dry, and simple 1 through 5.
Then again, what was it that the game changer, or the fact that the Indianapolis front 7 did not show up?
They showed up in spurts. Quarters 2, 3, and half of 4, they didn't show up. But I mean, look, when you playing a defending champion, especially when the defending champion has Tom Brady as their quarterback, when you step on their throat, you got to snap that bitch. You can't give them no form of life. And that went from a game that was about to get out of hand because the Colts were about to score to go up 31-14.
Yeah.
Then the strip sack fumble changed the whole game. But like I said, that just goes back with the AFC. You don't know. You really don't know. Like, if my Broncos win, we're in first place. And we would be thrust into what? Number 3 spot? So, but like I said, we don't know. It's the AFC is bananas. It's bananas. Like I said, the NFC, Cardinals, Packers, Bucks, Cowboys, Rams. There's your 5 spots right there. those last two spots are going to be kind of crazy, because even though Philly and the Panthers lost, they're not out of it by no means. People keep telling me watch out for Washington. I'm like, we don't need to watch out for Washington. But if they win tonight, yes we do, because their record will be 5-6. They'll be right there.
Yeah, but they got a couple matchups, and yeah.
That depends. They have to play Philadelphia twice.
I'm gonna pencil in the Niners as 6.
Okay.
I'm gonna pencil in the Niners as 6. 7
is a cluster F.
Yeah, 7 is the one.
Because you have a bunch of teams at 5-6. You got the Vikings at 5-6. You got the Falcons at 5-6. You got the Saints at 5-6. If Washington wins tonight, you got them at 5-6. And then right there on the outside of that, you got the Eagles and the Panthers at 5-7. Now, Cam looked horrible yesterday. He looked bad. So I don't know what to do about them. Jalen Hurts didn't play great, but damn, if you're Jalen Reagor, can you catch the damn ball? Catch the ball, dude. You win the game. Catch, and it was right in your hands. There was nobody in front of you. It was in your hands. Catch the ball. That's what you get paid to do. That's crazy. But anyway, let's go ahead and make our picks. This has been a nutty football season.
Hands to hands.
Yeah, man. Exactly. Exactly. This has been a nutty season. Okay, Thursday night's game, Dallas and New Orleans.
We got personnel back. We losing coach, which may be a good thing.
I was going to say, did McCarthy get test positive for COVID?
McCarthy's out for the week, but so Quinn's going to do the calls. Quinn and Kellen Moore are going to do the calls. So, that is what that is. We getting Amari and CD back. Probably DeMarcus Lawrence as well. So, but we lose Tyron Steele. Terrence Steele, rather. But that's fine, because Lyle Collins can just fill in there. So New Orleans is a rough place to play, but on the letdown of Thanksgiving, you know who I'm picking. Well, dude, this is one of them games you gotta win, because it's conference. It impacts the playoffs, so you gotta win it.
Dude, you haven't picked against the Cowboys all season. I wouldn't even start.
Yeah, so I don't even know why you call
I'm just asking the question.
Not this year. There were years where I would pick against my team. If I'm betting some greenbacks, then I'm gonna pick again. I'm gonna make the logical pick, but making the logical pick this year, the logical pick is my team. We should beat them.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, Trevor Siemian is the quarterback. It's simple. New Orleans is nosedive. They're about to wave the white flag. This ain't the Trevor Siemian from 2017 who bust y'all ass. This is a different dude, and this isn't a better version either, even though he's playing for a better coach. New Orleans is pretty much, I'm almost ready to put New Orleans as in the done category. Y'all gonna win. Y'all gonna bounce back. Y'all shouldn't have to worry about this game.
I would sit Zeke this week, though.
You would sit Zeke?
I would sit Zeke. I would sit legitimately. I would sit Zeke. Just give him a week of rest, because it's obvious that knee is not right. And I get the playing through it, and I'm not taking game off and all that. But yeah, I would sit him.
Okay.
I would sit him and then take that extra, because you got 10 days. So
yeah, you got the mini bye week.
Right.
Okay. Okay, Tampa Bay and Atlanta.
I'm gonna say Tampa.
Man, this ain't even close to me. I'm gonna say Tampa. I don't put no stock in no victory the Falcons have. I mean, they might be 5-6. They're not a good team. They beat Jacksonville. Okay, so next game, Arizona at Chicago. Kyler Murray should be back.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Arizona, although I do believe the Bears will be moderately competitive, because it's gonna be freezing cold. The AZ boys, last time they done seen some weather like that, it's gonna be cold. It's already freezing cold there.
All right, well, you the Chicago native, so I will defer to you as far as that goes. But
they'll win. Arizona will win. It's just that them finesse offenses like Arizona, like the Rams, when you get outside in that cold, it's a whole different.
But that's why you got a running back like James Conner, who's straight out of Pittsburgh. And will it be Justin Fields? Will it be Andy Dalton? I tell you what, it won't be. It won't be a Chicago win. I'm going with Arizona. Here's a game that's very interesting. The Chargers at the Bengals. Last time we rode the Bengals high horse, they lost to the Jets. Then they got thumped by Cleveland. But then, after that, they went in Vegas, and then you see what they did to Pittsburgh yesterday. And the Chargers, who are they? Like they look great against the Steelers, but then come to Mile High, and we bitch slapped them, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. Who you got?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say they got enough on their defensive front. Based on what I've seen recently with the Chargers offensive line to give them problems. So pick against the Chargers this week. Normally I believe in Aber, and here we go, Herbert.
Herbert.
But not this week. I'm going to take the Bengals.
Okay. And I'm going to disregard that insult you just threw at him. I'm going to pick the Bengals to improve to 8-4. This is going to be. I think this is going to be a very high-scoring game. I really do. But Bengals are in a very advantageous situation, and I say that because you found your quarterback of the future. You've already got your running back in play contractually as well, Mixon and Jamar Chase. Your best players are still under rookie contracts. You can do damage in the offseason to your O-line and your defense, and I mean damage in a good way if you're smart. But, yes, I'm taking Cincinnati. Next game, Minnesota at Detroit.
Vikings.
Yeah.
They're still in the playoff picture, so, on paper, they should win that one handily.
Yeah, I agree. Vikings. Giants at Dolphins. Didn't I tell you to watch the Dolphins about a month ago? Didn't I tell you to watch them?
That's almost like a push. The Dolphins defense might be a little bit better, but the Giants offense might be a little bit better.
I didn't know yesterday that the Giants were fully loaded on offense again. I really didn't.
They are. Yeah.
And with that being said, they only scored 13 points.
Yeah, Daniel Jones didn't play well. He missed Galladay a lot yesterday. Wide open too. I'm gonna take the Dolphins. I'm gonna take the Dolphins because of Daniel Jones. I'm gonna take the Dolphins.
Okay. I'm gonna take the Dolphins too because I said a month ago, watch out for the Dolphins. They've proven me right now to be a very smart individual. Philly at the Jets.
Philly should win that. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets block them.
Okay, well, I'm going to go with Philly as well. I'll just leave it at that. The Colts at the Texans.
Colts.
Yeah, I'll take the Colts too. I was disappointed in the way that Tyrod played yesterday against the Jets. So, yeah, I'm going to take the Colts. Washington at the Raiders. That's a very interesting game, particularly if Washington wins tonight.
There's that Jekyll and Hyde thing again. On paper, the Raiders should win this game. But which Raiders will show up, I don't know, but I'm going to take the Raiders. I'm
going to take the Raiders as well, even though I really don't want to. I want to take Washington because that would benefit my Broncos by the Raiders losing. But I'm going to take the Raiders. I'm going to be smart. Jacksonville at the Rams. Boy, if the Rams need to get better.
That's a no-brainer in the Rams. That's a gimme game. It should be a gimme game for them. So,
yeah, I think the Rams are going to put up 40 on them. So I'm going with the Rams as well. Baltimore at Pittsburgh.
based on what you said about the Mike Tomlin thing, I think this is going to be a really competitive game.
I do too.
And if Lamar brings out the stat line he brought out last night, they're going to lose.
Right.
But I'm going to take the Ravens.
I'm going to take the Ravens as well because of number 8. But I believe this is going to be a seriously competitive game because the Steelers got embarrassed. And they're at home, a serious division rival. But in the end, I think Lamar is going to be a little too much for him, making that silent case for MVP. San Francisco at Seattle.
San Fran. I ain't even got to think about it. San Fran.
Gut feeling, I think Seattle's going to pull off an upset. Don't know why, don't have any reason why. I'm going to take Seattle. Sunday night, my Broncos go to Arrowhead Stadium to play the Chiefs.
Chiefs going to smack you upside the head.
Yeah, I know. I'm picking the Chiefs too.
Yeah.
They coming off of a bye week too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't stupid. You know, I say, look, I picked the Broncos and suffer the consequences. I had a good feeling about yesterday's game. But this one? Nah. I would love to see us win, but if I'm a betting man, hell no. Monday night game. New England at Buffalo. Yeah.
So, despite the fact that the run that New England has had and the discipline they've showed in that run, the Bills are the better team. On paper, the Bills are the better team. I'm going to give them the benefit of that. Are they at Buffalo?
Yes, at Buffalo.
I'm going to give them the benefit of that at home and say they going to circle them wagons and beat the Patriots.
Bill Belichick is saying, I'm back, bitch. I'm going with the Patriots. They on a run, and they on a run for a reason. I'm going to look at that defense. Ain't got nothing to do with Mac Jones. Look at that defense and the inconsistencies of Josh Allen this season. That's why I'm taking New England.
It's funny because I was just getting ready to say, I was going to say, if Josh Allen get it together, I expect Stephon Diggs to have a monster day.
Okay.
But Josh Allen. So we'll see.
Okay. You're taking the Bills. I'm taking the Pats. Now, what I wanted to bring up, actually I wanted to bring this up before we started talking football, but I was already in football mode. The case that we had talked about last week, the Ahmaud Arbery case, all 3 men were found guilty. What's your reaction?
If only there were a death penalty accompanying the guilty verdict. That's my take on it. An eye for an eye. Yeah, hopefully they'll get some jailhouse justice with the brothers down there, but they probably will be in protective custody for the rest of their lives.
Probably, especially that old cop.
But they got what they deserve, and the prosecutor was smarter than people give credit for. She didn't hang her head. She didn't even mention race as part of her case. Had she done that, yeah, it may have been an adverse reaction from the white jurors and blah, blah, blah. But because she proved that case without even really beating the drum, she let the defense beat the drum on race with the we don't want the black pastors in there, type stuff. So, I mean, it was what it was. But that in no way, see, people think that this type of stuff, and I heard Al Sharpton and Ben Crump, the Negro attorney to the stars, beating the drum about it. We finally got justice. No, we don't finally have. They toss a bone every now and then and give verdicts that they should give anyway. But that in no way says this system is equal. No way. That doesn't even indicate that it's headed in the right direction. It just indicates that 12 people got together and agreed due to their conscience. That's all. That's 12 opinions out of millions of people. We know where millions' minds still lie.
Yep.
They still think George Floyd is a criminal, so he deserved what he got. They still still think that it was okay for the cop to shoot Jacob Blake, which is what set a lot of things in motion in Minnesota. So, you know.
They still think George Zimmerman did the right thing with Trayvon Martin.
Exactly. So the more things change, the more they stay the same. So, but it's good that they got these verdicts in this particular situation because it was deserved. But I like I said, life for life. I've always believed that the jury, the judge, none of that should decide what the penalty is. Let the families decide. Let the immediate family decide what happens to that person or people.
Yeah,
and
well,
it's fair because there are a lot of people that are pro-life. It's funny. That's a thing that's always kind of been funny to me. In some cases, where somebody's found guilty of murder or something like that, and they're sentenced to death, you'll have the victim's family whose anti-death penalty will be petitioned and no, we'd rather he spend life in jail, but they go and murder him anyway. Go ahead and execute him anyway.
Right.
So.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. I'm happy about the verdict. I don't celebrate the verdict, like some people do, because, I posted on Facebook, guilty, and MF and guilty, because I'm happy about the verdict, but I don't celebrate it because the end result was still the senseless loss of another life. Because of what? I don't know if, there's a part of me that if I'm just trying to put myself, and hopefully I'll never have to put myself in the shoes of the Ahmaud Arbery family. But there's a part of me that would say, yeah, I think the three of them should die, should get the death penalty. And then there's a part of me that's like, it ain't going to bring Ahmaud back, or it wouldn't bring my family member back. Maybe, like you said, maybe those brothers in the jailhouse will do it anyway.
Yeah, but even if it ain't gonna bring them back, you fast tracking them to hell. That's the whole goal. Get them to hell as fast as you can. Let's get that cooking, that burning started.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how you look at it. I had a off-topic question before we end this. It's a sports topic. Back to the sports.
Okay.
Because anytime I start thinking about that stuff down there, it
Yeah.
Because I got unresolved slavery issues, if y'all didn't know.
Well, hey, and I like to hear it. Because I got them too. God damn it.
But I saw a thing on Facebook. I don't know if you saw it. So I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna lay out 3 different scenarios. You just tell me who you got. Just tell me who you got, and then I'm gonna finish it off with something else.
Okay.
So I saw a post about LeBron's Lakers, and this was earlier. This is when that team, this year's team, was first put together, and people were throwing out, based on the lineup, who they could beat of these historic teams. And of course, the cannon fodder always is the Chicago Bulls. That's the barometer. You just gonna jump straight to the top and pick that team. And LeBron's Lakers, they could be the Bulls, and today's NBA, and they're faster, they're stronger. As currently constituted, LeBron's Lakers versus any iteration of the championship Bulls. Any iteration.
None.
Now.
None. I would give.
The championship Golden State Warriors, because they shifted. They shifted from the Lakers to the Golden State Warriors.
Okay.
This is how deep whoever these people were trying to make their argument. They just, all right, well, forget about LeBron's Lakers. Let's go to the Golden State Warriors.
That's okay.
Golden State Warriors, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my first question, just like anybody else's question, so what rules are we playing by?
That was what I was about to ask. Which rules are we playing by?
And then I threw a piece in the hole. Because everyone, what about Luke Longley? He would just, I said, do you think Phil Jackson would play Luke Longley? He would start Tony Kukoc at center. Today's NBA.
Yeah, right. Right.
A ball-handling, three-point shooting big man.
Right.
And match that up with Golden State, man, Draymond to guard Tony Kukoc.
Or even if not Tony Kukoc, because you wanted to keep firepower coming off the bench, Bison Dele, a.k.a. Brian Williams.
Yeah, forget about him. I still would love to know what happened to him.
He's dead. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
No, well, I mean, we know that. But,
I don't mean to even laugh at that, but yeah, he literally disappeared off the face of the earth. But Longley wouldn't start. And matter of fact, in a series like that, Longley would barely see minutes. You would either start Kukoc or Bison Dele, and you would probably have Winnington coming off of the bench more than you would have Longley. But, like I said, a series like that, that's tough. Because if you're playing by 2018 rules, then Golden State's going to win. Just because their shooting is too much. And Klay Thompson is a better defender. Klay Thompson's an all-world defender. You never hear about it because of how great he is on offense. Draymond and Dennis Rodman would be something, Lord have mercy, I would pay to see. Jesus Christ.
Well, to be fair, who's Klay's man? Who's Klay's man?
Ron Harper?
No.
Oh, wait a minute. Are you talking about who would Klay have to guard on offense? You saying who would Klay have to guard on defense? He would have to guard Jordan. He would have to guard Jordan.
Meaning he would be on the bench. So,
but you have to understand. But you have to understand. We're not going to base all of this on one-on-one matchups because defensive adjustments would be made. I'm gonna tell you who would start. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you who would start for Golden State. Klay would rarely see Michael because you would throw Iguodala on Michael. Klay would probably more or less guard Pippen. You would throw Iguodala on Jordan. And you would throw Ron Harper. You would throw Steph would guard Ron Harper. He wouldn't have to exert himself defensively like that. Klay wouldn't see Michael that much because you need him too much on the offensive end. You're putting Iggy on Jordan. You know this.
Well, here's your thing with the Iguodala thing. Foot speed wise, he's not going to be able to stay with Mike. He's just not. Iguodala's a really good defender, but he wouldn't be able to stay with Mike. And then we're talking about the big thing. Which era are we playing in? Well, if we're playing in 2018 where Golden State can play that zone where they can put 1 foot in the paint, and it amazes me that, like, the ref, I'm saying, that's not defensive 3 seconds. He has his foot in the paint. He's not even guarding anybody. They all just literally, and that's how a lot of teams defend now, that zone, which is why DeMar and Zach LaVine have been having problems because that zone, you got to have a zone breaker. That zone where you can literally, as a defender, have 1 foot in the paint and say you guarding somebody out by the 3-point line.
Well, see, that's going to be, like I said, that's tough because we know no one man could guard Michael Jordan, but a team defense can affect him. Golden State has always had good team defense, and honestly, I don't think errors would really affect that much. But, I mean, like I said, if you're playing...
That would affect that.
Well, okay, let me ask you, who's guarding Kevin Durant?
Remember, that was a thing at one point in time where they made a concerted effort to start calling them the illegal defenses because teams were sagging back. You're not guarding anybody, dude. Well, he's 5 feet away from you. Yeah, but if he's 5 feet away from you, you're not guarding.
Well, who's guarding Kevin Durant? That's what I want to know.
You're just standing there. Well, that's Pippen's man. No question. That's Scottie Pippen's man. Yeah, I understand Kevin Durant got a height advantage. Yeah. But anything beyond shooting over him, Pippen can guard him. Anything else, because he's not going out physical.
No, he's not going to out physical.
And see, there's the mismatch that you said Steph Curry don't got to work. Ryan Harper, before he joined the Bulls, was a 22-point scorer.
Yeah, but you're not talking. I'm not talking about Cleveland. I'm not talking about Cleveland Cavalier or Los Angeles Clipper Ron Harper. I'm talking about Chicago Bull role-playing 6-point a game Ron Harper. That's who I'm talking about.
He didn't have to, but if Mouse in the house, Steph Curry is on him, he's just gonna back him down every time.
But it would be interesting to see because both coaches would adjust. I mean, I tend to think that the winner of that series would be dependent upon which rules we're playing by. Now, I don't know why whoever brought this up.
If you believe that, based on, and we're talking about the rules, and I do believe that, I agree wholeheartedly with that. But if it's any time before 2001 rules, anytime before 2001,
I would say
it's just not even close.
Well, 2000, it was still very physical in 2001. I would say anything. I would say after Malice. I would say after Malice in the Palace. Yeah, 2004.
2004, because they again, this argument propagated. It started. I seen it. It started like 30 comments, and then a couple days later, it was up to like 11,000.
I can believe it.
And people were chiming in, and They brought that 01 Lakers team into it.
Oh, that's where I was going with it.
Beat them by old school?
That's where I was going with it.
Shaq couldn't defend nobody, man. Who gonna defend Shaq?
Exactly. That's where I was going with it. I wouldn't have put LeBron's Lakers in any conversation against the Bulls. Now, you talking about Shaq and Kobe's Lakers? I firmly believe Shaq and Kobe.
That's what I'm saying. It has shifted away from the Bulls altogether. It was the Lakers and the Golden State Warriors. And I said the same thing. I said, dude, if we're playing by this era's rules, then yeah, Golden State has an advantage. The small ball has an advantage. But anytime prior, I said 01, but you're right, 04. Anytime prior to 04, that small ball gets destroyed.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Against a whole lot of teams in the league.
Absolutely. Even the Showtime Lakers, and they were more seen as finesse, even though ask Boston how finesse the Lakers were. Even they destroyed those Golden State Warriors if you're playing by rules, before 2004. My goodness. Who could guard Magic? Kareem or Worthy?
They were plumbers and electricians. Yeah, okay. Draymond versus, say, I don't know, Kevin McHale. Come on, man. Come on, Draymond's good, but Kevin McHale's a Hall of Famer for a reason. Draymond will not sniff the Hall of Fame, bro.
No, Draymond's going to make the Hall of Fame.
He ain't going to make the Hall of Fame.
Yes, he is. I guarantee you. Draymond, especially if they win another title. Draymond's going to, because right now Draymond's the leading candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. If he wins Defensive Player of the Year and they win another championship, I guarantee him and Iguodala are going to the Hall of Fame. I promise you that. They might not be first ballot, but they will get there. I promise you that. I promise you.
I always view Draymond as a really, really low budget Dennis Rodman / Ben Wallace.
Exactly, and both of them made the Hall of Fame. And
he likes to believe he's as good as Ben Wallace defensively.
No, he's not.
I know.
No. He might have a higher basketball IQ than Ben Wallace, but Ben Wallace's athleticism was off the chain. Like, this dude, people don't understand how special Ben Wallace really was as a defensive player. I mean, this guy was a freak. I mean, when I see you, when you're 6'7" and I see you swat Lonzo Mourning, Shaq, Yao Ming, every notable center, and I'm talking about swat them bad too. And not only that, you're going up and you're putting up 15 boards a game. People don't realize how great. Like, Ben Wallace was Dennis Rodman on steroids.
He would be part of my defensive top five. Like my if I had to run out a starting five of all defensive players, it would be something like GP, be the glove. It would be Dumars. It would be Pippen. It would be. See, that's where it gets. This where it gets.
Olajuwon, gotta have Olajuwon in there.
I'm talking about my four though. We're talking about power forward, so it gets hazy. I would have to say Rodman. And then my five, it gets hazy because Mutombo was a really good defender. So was Hakeem. So was Ben Wallace. It gets hazy.
And that's the thing. They listed Ben Wallace as a 5 when he was a natural 4.
Right. Exactly.
No, he was a natural 4. That's why, when they bought Rasheed in the year in 04 when they won the championship, I thought they would play Rasheed at the 5. No, they kept Rasheed at the 4. And they just had Ben Wallace still playing 5. The only series where that actually didn't work for Detroit was the Lakers series, but they shut everybody else. Like they said simply, okay, Shaq, you go out and get 40 points. We're going to lock everything else around you down. And that's exactly what they did. Because they knew Ben Wallace couldn't guard Shaq, even though Shaq at that point, 32 years old, Shaq averaged 35 that series. But they shut Kobe down. They threw Tayshaun Prince and Rip outside of game 2. They threw Tayshaun Prince and Rip Hamilton, and they had Lindsey Hunter coming off the bench. They threw the kitchen sink at Kobe because they said Malone is hurt and Gary Payton's washed up. We got you.
Right.
It was that simple. Honestly. But Ben Wallace, that's tough.
So revisiting this history is a mother, because you realize these people probably never actually watched these dudes play live. If your assessment is less than Ben Wallace, that he was less than one of the greatest defenders to play this game, you didn't really watch him play then.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Or Shaq, for instance, if you think that somebody like Rudy Gobert could have guarded Shaq, are you serious?
Not a chance in hell.
Rudy Gobert couldn't guard Rick Smith.
Not a chance in hell. Not a chance in hell. I may because of the body type, I may give him a chance against Rick Smiths. But if you think that Rudy Gobert could have guarded Shaq or Hakeem or Ewing or David Robinson or of course, no, you're right. No, he couldn't. You're right.
And that's not me being an old head just saying, all the players in the past were better. Like, literally, the game is the game.
I mean, the centers are endangered species right now, so that's why we hold Gobert in such high regard. And speaking of centers, I know you were talking about Boogie Cousins. You see he went to Milwaukee?
I see that, and I'm not altogether mad because I've read the message boards for the Bucks, and the fans don't seem like, they like, okay, because we don't know when Lopez is coming back. And if you are literally looking at Robin Lopez like in that light, that means you don't expect much of Boogie Cousins or think much of Boogie Cousins. It is what it is.
Well,
I do got a little birdie for you though.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to see what you think of it because I don't know. I don't know what to feel about it. So rumor mill, and I told you we need a 4. Bulls need a 4 badly. Mm-hmm. They getting crushed on the board. 28th in rebounding. That's why we lose these games. We lost against Miami because Bam and what's the other Swedish dude that just had height.
Oh yeah, I can't pronounce his name. Yeah,
they killed us on the boards. You know, if we get some rebounds, we win the game. But maybe we get ready to trade and get Kuzma. I don't know what to feel about Kyle Kuzma.
I mean, Washington is doing pretty good with him. I mean, okay. I guess. Because Washington and Chicago are pretty much in the same spot around the East.
Well, the problem with Washington and what I can gather why that's a whole thing is because they got a glut of dudes at that position.
Yeah.
They still got Rui Hachimura. They got a bunch of dudes.
And they're not getting rid of him.
Right. So that's why.
They got Montrez, and they're not getting rid of him.
Right. So, actually, that was somebody that came up in convo because they may not want to pay him.
Oh, Montrez?
Yeah.
That wouldn't surprise me. Honestly, if you ask me, Frank Vogel just totally screwed up with Montrez. He misused him the entire season last year. He's still... I know he's still looking for a good payday. Well, we'll see. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Kyle Kuzma.
I don't see that happening because Levine got to get paid, so it wouldn't be Harrell. It would be potentially somebody like Kuzma or Boucher from Toronto. I do know this. I know that y'all need to try to figure out the best way you can gift wrap, shine up Russell Westbrook and make it look like a cubic zirconia or something and try to pawn him off in a deal.
Nobody's taking that contract.
Because that's a net negative. Yeah, he gets his stat lines, but that's what Russell Westbrook
Nobody is taking Russell Westbrook's contract from us. I'm telling you that right now. Sounds great. Because what we're seeing now is that we should have went and got Buddy Hield instead of Russell Westbrook. Nobody's taking Westbrook's contract. The Lakers are going to have to figure this one out. What's going to end up happening is what happened with the Cavaliers in 2018 when they went and got all those names, when they went and got Dwayne Wade and Isaiah Thomas and Jay Crowder and all this stuff, and it wasn't working, and by midseason, all those dudes were gone. But if you trade but there's one dude who ain't gonna go is Russell Westbrook. Nobody's taking that contract. You may get
explain to me, Lakers, why AD and LeBron is sitting in the room making them business decisions. Explain.
I can't. Because the smart move would have been Buddy Hield.
In the front office and ownership, for instance, if you took Pat Riley from Miami and put him in LA, LeBron and AD gonna play ball with whoever Pat Riley and his people see fit.
I think the reason why such an onus on getting Russell Westbrook is because LeBron, and I think LeBron, he's not going to say this publicly, but he's realizing he's getting old. He's getting injury prone. You know, LeBron is missing a lot of games, and and people can't fathom the fact that this is year 19. He's about to be 37 years old. There's a lot of miles on that body. He's getting old. Okay, he can't, and there are he's gonna miss a lot of games, and a lot of games that he misses, you might feel better if you have another superstar like Westbrook who can go out and win you a game or two in that situation. I really think that's what that's all about, because Anthony Davis, he's only 28, and his check engine light is always on.
But Russ ain't a superstar.
Huh?
But Russell Westbrook is not a superstar. Russell Westbrook is a star, an all-star stat whore, but he's not a superstar.
That depends on who you ask. Because
he's not a superstar. Superstars have rings because they led their team to a ring. Russell Westbrook doesn't have that capability.
Okay, would you call Damian Lillard a superstar?
No.
Okay. I mean, well, that's how you see things. A lot of people.
One simple rule change has basically changed up Dame Lillard's whole game.
Would you call James Harden a superstar?
No.
Okay.
That same rule change.
You're consistent.
Why are the Nets vulnerable? Because the rule change, and James Harden was so dependent on quote unquote superstar calls.
I agree.
Then he's not. Other people, they play through it. Steph Curry is a superstar. The rule change came. It affected him early on, but he adjusted his game and he kept it moving. Kevin Durant, superstar. There are superstars in the league, and no matter what situation you put them on, they excel. Russell Westbrook is a liability.
Well, you're being very consistent, and I appreciate that. But but you said explain to me how. I'm trying to. I first said I can't. Okay. I'm trying to. I really believe that LeBron James feels that because he's now injury prone. Like I said, he won't come out and say it, but this is what it is now. He's injury prone. Anthony Davis has always been injury prone. And in their eyes, Russell Westbrook is a superstar. And you wanted a superstar on the floor to be able to be there when LeBron is not, or when AD is not. Melo's not a superstar anymore. You may not have thought Melo was ever a superstar based on what you're telling me. But Melo can't carry a team anymore. And the rest of these guys are just names.
I never said Westbrook was never a superstar. That level of play he did have for a while, but now it's a different. Carmelo clearly had that level. He was on par with LeBron. I said that offensively, I believe he was better than LeBron.
Okay, but he can't carry a team anymore. So he can't carry a team anymore. And Westbrook, to a certain degree, can, if the circumstances are correct, which means if LeBron is not on the floor and you have no choice but to depend on him, he can get you some wins. He may not get you some. I mean, I agree with you. I think he's a liability. But the bottom line is, ain't nobody taking that damn contract. Ain't nobody taking Russell Westbrook's contract.
He played a typical Russell Westbrook from the past superstar game, but yet still lost against the Kings. Right.
Well, Frank Vogel's signature is supposed to be defense. Where is it? I don't know.
And across on the other bench, you're looking and saying, gee, for this guy, we could have had not only a youth infusion, had 3 players. Buddy Hield probably got Bagley in the deal too, because at the time, Bagley was in the doghouse and Luke Walton would have did just solid, right?
Yep.
And just threw him in.
Yep.
You could have had 3 young
Luke
players
Walton's a Laker.
Building for the future to go with THT and still got the production.
Yeah.
And Hield didn't have to have he's not one of them ball dominant dudes.
No, he's not. He's a spot up shooter. That's it. But I mean, if the Lakers fall flat on their face, this one has LeBron. I don't care. People always make excuses for LeBron. That's what gets on my nerves about him. LeBron has to take this one flat on the chin. Because the deal, Rob Pelinka had the deal done for Buddy Hield. And LeBron and AD intervened and said, nah, we want Russell Westbrook. So if they fall flat on their face, LeBron, more so LeBron than AD, because LeBron's the one with all the clout. He's the one who has to take this on the chin. I don't want to hear no excuses.
It'll be in a documentary later on, about 15 years from now, to be in a documentary.
Probably. You're probably right. Probably. But anyway, let me go ahead and get it out of here, bro. getting my blood boiling with this shit because the Lakers look. I mean, I know I don't get into basketball till after football, but the Lakers, they look. The Lakers look average. That's all I'm saying. Lakers look average.
Phoenix would destroy them in the playoff series.
Yep. Phoenix and Golden State. Yep. Sure would. I don't disagree. Matter of fact, that's really the matchup I'm looking forward to. It's the potential Phoenix Golden State matchup. That would be epic.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm gonna get at you, bro.
Hey, yes, sir.
All right, till next week, brother.
Take care.
All right. Oh, boys, getting my blood boiling. Talk about them damn Lakers. Them Lakers look average as hell. But anyway, quick tip on the college football tip. Again, I mentioned this earlier in the NFL talk. Lincoln Riley has left Oklahoma. He's going to go coach USC. The reason why I don't talk about college football more is because college football over the past 7-8 years has just been too much rinse and repeat. Alabama, Clemson, Alabama, Ohio State, throw them in there. It's too much rinse and repeat. And honestly, things get interesting to me when Alabama is no longer an option. So that's why I said, now, how do I feel about Lincoln Riley going to USC, leaving Oklahoma? Simple. Lincoln Riley is scared of the SEC. Oklahoma will be moving to the SEC in the next couple of years, and Lincoln Riley wants no part of that. And to have no part of that and go to the comfortable confines of Southern California, bro, I ain't even mad at you. All right, and with that being said, with a buzzer. Had two callers on today. Had my man Calvin, and of course had Tony on. So yes, definitely a good, fun show, a fun Sports Plus Life show. Gonna be a little long, but have you noticed ever since football season, bro, that's how we getting it done. But anyway, I hope you go ahead and hit that subscription button and become part of the Sports Plus Life family. I got some shows to catch up on. I did watch Power last night. Yeah, I watched Power last night. All American is actually getting ready to come on. Yeah, I mean, I do. I got my shows. I got All American, Power, Day of the Dead, Chucky. Yeah, I'm showed up right now. But anyway, it's your boy Brandon Brevon Towns. This has been another episode of Sports Plus Life. Man, I love you guys. Holiday season is underway. It is here. It is upon us. I hope everybody's safe out there. But I'm out this beer. Peace. Love you guys.